The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, one of those we're discussing here on the day. Now, I'm starting us off with a higher time frame. We're going to work our way down. Now, as a day trader, I believe this is where you have to start. Okay. Now, I'm not going to give you an education lesson here. Okay. But we also have Jerome Powell, the Fed, just talking, FOMC Wednesday. And then tomorrow, we'll set the tone and give you almost all your answers going into Wednesday. Okay, we have a little bit of something coming up there as well. So I'm going to get to that almost in the beginning. But first, what we're going to do is look at this chart. This is the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq gave you a little bit of a highs right here. And basically, to give you an idea of what this marks out for me, is this goes back basically into 2022, right? The beginning of this like drop that we had. And basically what happened is we started to lose this level. Like early January, we dumped through 1, 2, double top, we break down, break that bottom at basically 1400, and we just attack lows aggressively, right? Just strong selling. And so when we look at this level, I want you to just keep that in mind, okay? And this is all-time highs right here, just to let you know. We'll get a little marker there so you can see, and that's going to come into play here in a second. Now, when you look here, this is that level, that double top level. We'll get rid of this one right here so you can just see better. You bull flagged, you bounced up, you mounted. I mean, picture perfect, right? And on top of that, the bull flag happened right into the 200 SMA where you bounced. I mean, this is beautiful what's taking place here. Last week's weekly candle, again, we talked about this. We're like, fantastic end of the week, fantastic candle print, again, highlighting the overall strength of the market. Now, I said going into tomorrow, it's going to set the overall tone. But before we go into that, I ask you to do two things. Consider liking and subscribing. It helps out tons. I appreciate all of them support. Again, the Discord, it's completely full. We have no room inside the Discord right now. But again, the website has all of the education for absolutely free and the newsletter link, which is down below. Now, if you're also looking here and you're trying to get a better visual of what's happening here, you're trying to see some of these indicators on our screen. You're trying to understand key levels, buying versus selling. Some of the indicators that we're using all day, every single day, and you see here when you're trying to find, supply and demand zones, right? Chart Prime might be for you, right? The link for that is also down below. So when you're seeing all these highlighted levels, everything in between, you're trying to, decipher what's happening here on the levels right here, right? Also the buy and sell down here, the new proprietary one kicking in. And we also have the new VPVR that should be coming out by the end of the year as well, right? As you can see, that link is down below. And if you use the link down below, you get 30% off that. It comes right into TradingView, just to let you know. A lot of requests there. So, what's happening going into tomorrow? And, the Fed won't say it, but I will. The Fed says PCE is the best realization on inflation when it comes to data. I say CPI gives us the best viewpoint. Personally, my opinion. 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central, an hour before market open, you get core CPI information. Now, in my opinion, this sets the tone into FOMC if the tone isn't already set. Now, everyone keeps saying Tyler. If you have questions, I encourage you, comment down below. Or if you want to get directly to the head honcho himself, right? You're going to go down to the Twitter, right, where I post all of my charts, everything in between, all here. I answer all your questions as well. I try to go over literally everything I see. If there's a question I can answer, I try to always give you, answer questions when I go over charts, etc., right? Everyone keeps saying, right? What about employment? What about this? And our reality or our questions, first of all we care about is what Powell's going to say. I don't care about what Jerry thinks. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what Jay thinks. I don't really, you don't care what I think, right? Well, maybe you do, but at the end of the day, it comes back down to what Jerome Powell thinks about the market and what he's going to say. If you're an unbiased trader, that's what you have to be thinking about. And going into this, everything that he wants to happen is happening, right? And I posted about this last night. And it was interesting to see the responses that I got. And I try to give you my opinions and kind of go have a dialogue on Twitter. It's the only place I can really have this type of dialogue. But sometimes people just run away with their own ideas. The FOMC meeting is Wednesday. With declining PCE, CPI, PPI, and everything else Jerome Powell has been begging for, it's hard not to be excited going into this week. And so I think CPI is the last thing on the list, right? So tomorrow, very interesting. We're going to see the tone that comes out of that. And I think it will lead directly into FOMC, which again, if CPI comes in lower than expected, I think it's highly probable we hear the soft landing narrative. Now, we remember a few months ago, Jerome Powell said, me and the soft landing have nothing to do with each other. I never said soft landing. I have a feeling that the soft landing narrative comes back into play. We saw Janet Yellen talking heavily about this in the past week and said whoever doesn't think a soft landing is happening is basically an idiot. That's her words, not mine. Maybe I took them a little bit more extreme, but that's basically what she said. Okay, so that's what's there. So going into tomorrow and going into today's action, number one, the Nasdaq. You've been operating in a little bit of a range, right? I would argue basically 16.3 down to this 15.9 range here, right? With the actual lows, right? You can actually pick that up just a little bit. You did have the future contracts rollover, but still, that's your little range. You're breaking out of it today. Now, what's even more interesting is ES, the S&P futures. ES were choppy, range bound, and now you're breaking back up, back into where? You're back into almost those, August highs. You go into SPY, we look here, you're already well over those August highs, breaking up, and as you can see, just pushing into where? Into now all-time high territory. Again, right? I'm not making the chart up, I'm not making any of this up, I'm not, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just, I'm just being honest with you. When everyone else was saying we're going to dump, this is the top, this is that, inflation's roaring back, I try to be as real as possible with you guys. And so this is what's taking place. Go watch the last week's videos, the week before, etc. Go watch them. I don't care. Consolidating out of resistance is bullish, whether you want to admit it or not. Looking at this data, it's bullish based on what Powell said. I'm not going to tell you that, maybe we don't dip any, few months from now. But as of right now, it looks very good, very strong for the overall market. And it looks like continuation once they occur. Now we look at Qs, what's happening here, and Qs are very well at, we are roughly 10 points away from all-time highs on Qs. All-time high on Qs, around 404. You are right back in business. What a comeback. Greatest comeback story, as Chris Pratt would say, since Kim Kardashian, right? Fantastic. Okay, few will get that. But interesting. Great action, what's happening. You're breaking out, you're pushing back up, you're back in business. And again, everyone said this wasn't going to happen, this, that. And again, it's important that we disconnect our opinions, our bias, from what the market is telling us. Because overall, the market has been telling the same story over and over again for, in my opinion, the last 6-7 months. It's been very clear. Very, very clear. And the breakout of this bull flag was almost all we needed. Now, a few other things we're looking for. The fact that you're getting upside even while the DXY and dollar continue to get a little bit of love, a little bit of a bounce. You back up to the 200, trying to bounce up, right? You go down to yields, the 30 and 10 year. You're getting a little bit of a bounce. It's not incredible. It's not great. A little bit of a retrace back to the upside. Decent, right? So even though yields are bouncing, you're still getting love. Now, some people would say maybe this is a trap. This is what's taking place. Now, again, the big thing we were watching here on yields, what we said would be very bullish for the overall economy, is getting back below 2022 highs. That's what you wanted to happen. That's all we cared about, okay? And that's where you're at right now. You're breaking 2022 highs on both of these levels, back to the downside, possibly retesting before you shoot back down. That's what you want to see, and that's already taken place. Everyone's talking about gold too. Guys, I could care less about gold. Congratulations, you traded the trap. Good one, right? The oil continues to get destroyed, pushing down. What has been the overall theme for upside of the market for showing continuation or a risk on mentality? The dollar dropping, yields dropping, oil dropping. And those are all three happening. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm not saying soft landing. You're the one that's thinking it, not me. Just saying. Elephant in the room. Now, let's go over some equities, okay? Let's go over some equities. Now, on Twitter, I try to give you guys my honest opinion. I try to break down everything. I started that 3K account. I'm doing that primarily on TikTok just because it's the easiest place for me to do short form content and not have to edit it, which I don't want to edit it. I just want to be able to post it, throw it up there at the end, right? That account's almost at 4,000. This is all just stuff from Discord, things like that. I'm using Options AI so I can do multi-leg options as well. But going down to some of these charts, right? I don't know what else to say. Especially when we go into something like AVGO. Okay, that's the first one we're going to mention. This was all mentioned on Twitter. You can see AVGO posted here December 1st on the Option Drops Twitter as well. This is the only one where I can remember where it was posted, but I know it's there for sure. Break, retest, pushing back up. AVGO, I want to give you a round of applause for all you guys that got into this thing. Congratulations. You're the man, right? So AVGO, breaking back up. Over the past few days, I've been saying this. Semiconductors are the opportunity. And, now people are going to say, well, Tyler, do I get in? Do I get in? And, you know, when you have to start asking, do you get in? You probably are late to the party. But I still think there's more opportunities ahead of us, okay? And I want to talk about those. So, one, AVGO breaking up. You're probably not done. You're in price discovery. AMD breaking up at 134. End of the day, very, very strong. 52-week highs. Breaking up, probably going to be pushing into all-time highs very soon. Personal opinion, what's happening there. Very bullish. And again, these are all names I've been saying here on the channel. I don't know how to say them any more clearly. I've given you the charts. I give you my logic, giving you all the reason. And again, the names are running rabid. But what I will say is I still think NVIDIA is getting ready to cook, right? Possible bear flag. Be watching, be on the lookout. LRCX, one of the best potential opportunities across the board. One of the best. You have some downside here in the after hours, but again, what am I looking at here? The weekly, okay? The weekly. Clear cup and handle, breaking out, pushing above, trying to get above basically like 734, trying to mount that level, and you're looking for clear cut upside. LRCX, if you remember the inverse head and shoulders on we traded and we targeted like 640 and that happened quick? I'm telling you guys, this can start happening quick when money starts flowing in there. I'm telling you, semiconductors got slapped. They've been held down. We've seen Microsoft, Apple, and other names lead the market. I do believe semiconductors are about to get started. Personal opinion. Do with that what you will. That's what I'm looking at there. Snow. Also loving this name. Snow. You're seeing a lot of people talk about Snow. And again, it's funny. People are like talking about like cloud names. I'm just like, remember when we called out CrowdStrike? Y'all remember at 200? We called that out. What about CRM? Remember when we called CRM on the bull flag break right here at 213? I remember. So people are talking about crowd like you're getting it right now, or you're going to be late to the party. You're not. Spoiler alert, you're not. CrowdStrike, you're looking for a break of 198 and a mount. You break and mount 198, you are in business. In my opinion, pushing back into 240, 235. I don't think you're late to the party. You're still clearly trading in the range down here. A break above 190 is awesome, but you want to see a break and hold of 198 to 200. Clear cut, that's all you're looking for. That's what you want to happen, okay? Make sure you understand that. Datadog, another great opportunity potentially if you mount above, I believe like 119. A lot of upside there as well. Those are my favorite ones there. A quick update, Amazon, still love it. Very bullish. Same pattern. Wants to play out. You're just range bound, bouncing off support. Got lots of opportunities. When it breaks out, people are going to say, oh, I missed it. And I'm going to say, you didn't miss it. You just were scared to buy into it. You've had, let's look how many opportunities you've had to get into Amazon. I think this is the first time I got into it. So we'll say 1, 2, 3 on the exact support, and then 1, 2 ish. So about 5 times. That's on a daily time frame. So lots of opportunities there. Get a nice pullback today on Apple. Again, pullbacks are not bad for the market. Okay. Even though Apple, Microsoft pulled back on the day, guess what? XLK still finished damn near at highs. Very telling. Rotation, ladies and gentlemen. Rotation, rotation, rotation. You saw XLK break down, mount above previous highs, push back up. These are all as bullish as they get. It's my personal opinion, how I'm looking at the market. If you have questions, comment down below. A lot of big names, a lot of big trades. That's what I'm looking at. Keep your head on a swivel. Be ready to trade. Hope you guys have a good one. Hope you guys got something out of this. I'll see you guys tomorrow.